Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. It is being reported that a lightweight matchup is close to being finalized for UFC 286 March 18th in London, and that is Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. An amazing fight within the lightweight division, and this video is going to be my reaction as well as an early prediction for this highly anticipated lightweight fight. I've already done a video on the main event of UFC 286, which is Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman. I will link that down in the description as well as the end cards. If you want to check that out after this, I give an early prediction for that fight as well. But my reaction when I saw that Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev was finally going to happen, and the contracts haven't been signed yet, but the way it's being reported by ESPN, it's all but done. It's just a formality. They have to sign the contracts, and it's going to be on UFC 286. But I love this fight. People for the past few months have been highly critical of Justin Gaethje, and they say Justin Gaethje's ducking top contenders, and we have, specifically it's been Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, and everyone's been saying, look, these guys only want to fight each other. They're holding their rankings in the lightweight division hostage. Meanwhile, you got all these up-and-coming killers, and none of these guys are willing to fight each other. And I've said, I hope that isn't the case. And I said, look, I believe Gaethje versus Fiziev will come to fruition. I just think Gaethje probably wants more time or whatever. He said certain things in the media, but this is the fight to make. And also in this video, I'm going to match make some of the rest of the top, like 5 or 10 of the lightweight division, because there is some amazing matchups to make for the lightweight division. But this fight makes perfect sense. You have Gaethje, who's sitting at number 3 in the overall rankings in the lightweight division. Rafael Fiziev is sitting at number 6. You have Gaethje, who's coming off a title loss against Charles Oliveira. You have Rafael Fiziev, who's on a massive win streak. He only lost his UFC debut back in April of 2019. Since then, he's won every single fight. His last 2 fights have been spectacular KOs. The last fight in July of 2022 against Rafael dos Anjos, insane KO in the 5th round. Some people said it was an early stoppage. It was not an early stoppage. RDA was out cold. And then the fight before that, a spinning wheel kick standing TKO of Brad Riddell, which hasn't aged the greatest, but still a quality win. And Fiziev is a guy, even though he only has 13 pro fights, he's 12-1. He is a guy that I've had my eye on for quite a while. And when I first started this channel, he's one of the guys I mentioned who was outside of the rankings, who I believed could be a future champion one day. And if he goes out there and beats Justin Gaethje, he's right in line for a title shot. I mean, I would absolutely love to see in 2023, let's say Fiziev goes out there and gets an impressive win over Justin Gaethje. Who wouldn't love to see, if Islam Makhachev is still the champion, obviously still got to go through Volkanovski, Islam Makhachev versus Rafael Fiziev in 2023. What an amazing matchup that would be. And for Justin Gaethje, he's one of these guys who's a veteran of the sport. He's still an elite level fighter. But is he really fighting for a title anytime soon? 2 out of his last 3 fights were for a title. His only win in his last 3 fights was against Michael Chandler back at 268. He fought Oliveira. He lost. He got submitted in the 1st round. And then, 2 fights ago is when he fought Khabib Nurmagomedov. This was when Justin Gaethje was the interim champion after he stepped in and fought Tony Ferguson on short notice during the pandemic, UFC 249. Bludgeoned Tony Ferguson on short notice, was the interim champion, fought Khabib, lost to Khabib. I don't know if a win over Rafael Fiziev for Justin Gaethje is going to be enough for people to be clamoring to see him fight Islam Makhachev, especially with Justin Gaethje's grappling woes and the fact that, Oliveira ended up submitting him, Khabib Nurmagomedov ended up submitting him. So I don't think a lot of people are going to be clamoring to see him fight Islam Makhachev. But this is one of those fights where you have these up-and-coming killers. At some point, somebody's got to fight him, Beneil Dariush fought Mateusz Gamrot and ended up winning that fight. Beneil Dariush, kind of that older wing of lightweights who still hasn't gotten his opportunity, but he turned back Gamrot when a lot of people thought that Beneil Dariush deserved a title shot. And if Justin Gaethje can go out there and beat Fiziev, who's to say not in another win or 2, he could earn another shot at the title. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So it's a massive fight. And stylistic-wise, you can't get much more of a compelling fight. Justin Gaethje, I've been watching him since his World Series of Fighting days. He's never in a boring fight. The Charles Oliveira fight, for 1 round, super exciting fight. The Michael Chandler fight, amazing fight. The Khabib Nurmagomedov fight, while it lasted, very exciting. The Tony Ferguson fight, Justin Gaethje's always just coming forward, always slinging haymakers, always looking for KOs. And he's refined himself over the past few years where he's kind of dialed back the recklessness and dialed up his technical ability. And I'm very curious to see how that stacks up against Rafael Fiziev, who's one of the most technical power strikers I've seen in MMA. And I would say top 5 MMA strikers within the UFC. That's how high I am on Rafael Fiziev. So I'm super interested in this fight. I think it's a very compelling matchup. I don't think either one of these guys is going to be looking for the takedown. Justin Gaethje has no jiu-jitsu. He has okay wrestling, but a lot of people hype that up when we haven't really seen it put to use within the UFC. And Rafael Fiziev, he's not going to be looking for a takedown. Rafael Fiziev wants to strike on the feet. He's going to be chopping your legs. He's going to be throwing wheel kicks. He's going to be throwing nasty hooks. And I'm so interested in this matchup because this could kind of be one of those fights where you have Rafael Fiziev, who's 29 years old, Justin Gaethje, who's 34 years old. This can be the changing of the guard within the lightweight division that a lot of people have been asking for quite a while. We want to see a lot of these up-and-coming lightweight killers. The lightweight division is one of the most stacked divisions in the UFC, and we kind of get to see finally Justin Gaethje, instead of, fighting Dustin Poirier, fighting Michael Chandler, and vice versa, and all 3 of these guys fighting each other over and over and over again, which what it seems like, it's not actually happened, but it's what it seems like. We finally get to see one of these up-and-coming guys try to get a win over a big name and put himself in position for a title shot. As far as an early prediction for this fight, and this is a massive fight, huge fan-friendly matchup, I got to go Rafael Fiziev. I have been a big believer in Rafael Fiziev pretty much since he entered the UFC. And I just think he's so technical. He's so defensively responsible. And I just think he's younger. He's faster. And I think Justin Gaethje, by the time he fights, he's going to be close to a year layoff. It's going to be about 10 months roughly. He fought May of 2022. He'll be fighting in late March of 2023. I have to go with Rafael Fiziev. I think that Rafael Fiziev's power strikes, his leg kicks, and I know Gaethje's going to be trading leg kicks with him as well, but I think Rafael Fiziev probably by like 2nd round TKO or 3rd round TKO. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed in, I feel like this should be a fight night main event. I really do, because I feel like I need 5 rounds here, because I feel like in a way this is a #1 contender fight for Rafael Fiziev, but I have to go with Fiziev. I just think he's younger, he's faster. I like his striking ability. I think he's more defensively responsible. It's not like Justin Gaethje's going to go out there and try to out-grapple him. Even if he did, he's not going to be able to. Fiziev showed amazing takedown defense against Rafael Dos Anjos. So I have to go Fiziev, probably 2nd or 3rd round TKO, maybe even 1st round, honestly. That's how high I am on Rafael Fiziev striking. But don't get me wrong. Either one of these guys make a mistake, you could see either one of these guys get KO'd in this fight. Both guys have knockout power. Really looking forward to this matchup. As far as the rest of the lightweight division, because, I think if Rafael Fiziev goes out there and beats Justin Gaethje, I think he's on a short list for a lightweight title shot. Maybe he's not necessarily next because you got Beneil Dariush kind of lingering out in the wings. But here's what I would do with the lightweight division. And let me know if you would like me to do a full lightweight matchmaker video where I break down the top 10 and, briefly discuss each fight. Let me know if you want that down in the comments. Obviously, we have Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. Then you have ranked #1, former champion Charles Oliveira. The fight I want to see Charles Oliveira in next. People have been talking about Beneil Dariush, potentially Michael Chandler, other matchups. Even Conor McGregor has been mentioned. I want to see Charles Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot. What an amazing matchup that would be. Who doesn't want to see that? #2, you have Dustin Poirier. I want to see Dustin Poirier versus Beneil Dariush. I love this matchup. Beneil Dariush is an absolute savage. He's basically already earned a #1 contender spot, but he said, I'm willing to fight anyone. And Dustin Poirier, coming off a win over Michael Chandler, probably not going to get a title shot anytime soon. Massive fight. Would love to see Dustin Poirier versus Beneil Dariush. #3 is Justin Gaethje. Obviously, he's fighting Fiziev. Then you have #5, Michael Chandler. Who do I want to see him matched up with against next? I want to see him fight Arman Tsarukyan. What an amazing matchup that would be. I mean, Arman Tsarukyan, I thought he beat Gamrot. So in my mind, he should have already fought Beneil Dariush, and who knows what would have happened there. but I already thought he beat Gamrot. I think he needs a big fight in his next fight. Why not Michael Chandler? Now, if Michael Chandler doesn't come to fruition, let's say Michael Chandler then ends up fighting Conor McGregor, which has been speculated about quite a bit, and you do Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor, maybe I hate to do this to Arman because, you know, he deserves a big fight against like a big name instead of giving him straight up killers, because he just fought Damir Ismagulov, who then retired afterwards. But then do Arman Tsarukyan versus Jalen Turner. That's number 10 and number 9. So, I mean, that fight would be super compelling. Jalen Turner is one of those guys. I mean, you can look at the top 15 of the lightweight division and even, you know, 10 and back, and you can pick out guys who, okay, this guy may be a future title contender, maybe a future lightweight champion. Jalen Turner, Arman Tsarukyan would be a phenomenal matchup, but I'd rather see one of those two guys fight one of the veterans closer to the top 5 of the lightweight division. That's why I'd prefer Tsarukyan versus Chandler. And the only one left in the top 10 is Dos Anjos, but he's currently having fun fights out at welterweight. So that's not, you know, I don't really know a matchup for him off the top of my head. He's fighting at welterweight right now. He might come back to lightweight in the future. But there's the entire matchmaking for the lightweight division right there. But I'm glad now it's finally being booked. Gaethje versus Fiziev. My only complaint is that it's not 5 rounds. I wish it was like the San Antonio main event in March, because I feel like a fight of this magnitude and a stylistic clash that, you know, should be super exciting, regardless if I think it's going to last 5 rounds or not. I think this fight is worthy of 5 rounds, and I'm really looking forward to it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Who do you think is going to win this fight, Gaethje or Fiziev? Don't forget to like the video, and thank you so much for watching.